Hey guys, Angus here, got another Airsoft video for you guys. Today, as you can obviously tell, we're outdoors, got that usual performance test background for us, and that's exactly what we got today. Today, not only are we going to be chronoing a gun, we're also going to be taking a few shots downrange to see how accurate and how effective its hop-up unit is. What gun are we going to be testing out? Well, it's quite obvious, the one I've got in my hands here. This is the APS UAR, or Urban Assault Rifle Airsoft AEG. Now, if you're interested in picking this product up, there's a link down below in the description to airsoftstation.com where you can buy it for about $205 at either the black or a tan model as well. Now, with that being said, let's go ahead and get into some of the details of this video. We're going to be starting off with the Chrono, as always, to see how fast and how hard this gun is shooting. For the chronograph, we're going to have our included 200-round magazine loaded up with 0.2 gram BBs, and also we'll have a 7.4 volt 1100 milliamp LiPo battery charged up and ready to go. Keep in mind, this gun doesn't include a battery, so you're going to need to buy one separate. Also, this gun does include a tune-up spring that's not been installed. This gun is being tested straight out of the box. So with that being said, let's go ahead and see how hard it shoots. Alright, so we've gone ahead and got the Extratech chronograph set up and ready to go. Feet per second up first with 0.2 gram BBs. Let's see how hard the UAR is shooting. 367.9, 369.2, 364.7, 370.4, 368.6, 373.8, 369.3. So it looks like you're averaging consistency right around the 365 to the 370 feet per second area. Now for rounds per second, full auto. 13.22 rounds per second, which as you can see, ends up into converting around 800 rounds per minute. Alright, so taking a look at the chronograph results, I'm overall pretty pleased. We're seeing a very consistent feet per second out of the APS UAR here, right around the 365 up to the 370 FPS, with I believe one shot ranging around the 375 feet per second area. So feet per second out of the box is solid, excellent with the stock spring, not replaced with the upgrade one they do give you. And that's excellent because when I think of this thing, I think it could really go either way, and that's an FPS that could fluctuate between being permitted in CQB as well as being useful in the field games as well. So feet per second, perfectly solid on this AEG. As far as rate of fire goes, we're looking at about 800 rounds per minute, 13.2 rounds per second, which again, perfectly respectable, especially for an out-of-the-box AEG. And not looking at the results, it sounds like it's shooting pretty fast. So it's a solid, respectable rate of fire combined with a great FPS on this AEG. Now we're going to go ahead and take a few shots downrange to see how accurate this gun is. We'll be firing it about 120 feet away. The only difference is here is that our hop-up's going to be adjusted. We're going to have 0.25 grams in the magazine. So let's go ahead and take a few shots downrange. Alright, now since this camera doesn't have the greatest zoom capabilities in the world, you guys are going to be getting the up-front view of the target here, and I'll be firing downrange. We're going to take a couple shots on semi first before switching over to a couple bursts on full auto. Again, 0.25 gram BBs and an adjusted hop-up. Sorry for the crude launch air target, but come on, at this point, it's kind of a Deathcore Airsoft classic. Take a few shots. With that little bit of shooting there, we can go ahead and get to the final conclusion of this performance test. I already stated what I thought about the FPS and the rate of fire on this, thought they were right where they needed to be, pretty darn good. Now let's talk about the shooting portion. As far as semi-automatic went, I thought it was pretty darn good. We got the BBs down there, the majority of them hitting the target or going through the creases in the chair where there should be chair, but there isn't. The groupings overall, very, very tight, staying right in that general area, and that was great on semi-auto. I didn't have really any issues with semi-automatic. If I was firing this in a game, that was a player, pretty sure he would have been out. As far as full auto goes, this is where I started to have a couple more issues with the gun's performance. This gun heavily suffers from what I call the cloud effect, meaning that one BB goes down there straight as an arrow, but the rest that follow it just kind of split off and everywhere. So that is something to take into consideration with the full auto. I noticed more so on full auto, it was like the hop-up took less and less effect with each BB coming out of the barrel. Some of them kind of, you know, falling short, dropping a little bit, stuff like that. I didn't necessarily have any flyers going off to the left or the right, but something to take into consideration. I did have someone comment on my teaser video, the hop-up's junk, and I do kind of see it in this shooting test, the fact that they are flying a little bit farther, but they're still dropping. They're not keeping going like some hop-ups do, so that is something to take into consideration. The hop-up seems to be iffy at best, not the greatest thing in the world, so certainly take that into consideration when you go ahead to take a look at this. But overall, I think it would make a pretty solid CQB or field weapon based upon the FPS, rate of fire, and the accuracy on semi, which I was pretty happy with. More so CQB, just to get around that kind of BB dropping issue, because you do need a little bit less range for indoor combat. So with that being said, guys, this has been Deathcore Airsoft's performance test of the APS, UAR, or Urban Assault Rifle Airsoft AEG. And that being said, thanks for watching, guys. See you next video.